on, y'all? Just setting the mood real quick. Letting people come into the room before I start talking. Subscribe to my YouTube in the comments and the video subscription. Calmo Jr. Y'all tell me how y'all feeling today. It's cold up here. And I hope that y'all enjoying these sounds. I like R&B, so that's what we're gonna be playing. Going on, man. I'm gonna have you on soon. Basically, this is gonna be an introduction to me and my story and why I feel like I'm qualified to speak on what I'm gonna be speaking on. Turn this down a little bit. All right, good evening to all four of y'all tuning in. I want to talk about something tonight. Of course, it's Friday. You know where I'm at, but you don't know what I'm about to do. So if you've been paying attention to some of my videos, I've been making little short clips here and there, just out of habit, just forming a hobby. Like I've told y'all before, you always have to find a hobby, find something to do. So I just started doing that, little snapshots of my life, stuff I've been through, and stuff that other people have gone through, just to try to give some game from my perspective. So I said, I might as well just jump out the gate and get my own thing going on. So my podcast is called For the Bros, and like I said, you can subscribe below in the comments or in the video description. But before I just tell you to subscribe to something, I don't feel like it's right for me to tell you that and not give you a background of myself. Of course, on Facebook, on social media, you give certain snapshots of you, but you don't always go into the good, the bad, and the ugly. But in this video, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tell you about me and what I've been through and why I'm qualified to speak on what I'm speaking on. Now, before I start, to the other parties involved, if this video ever gets to you, I want to let you know there's no malice, there's no shade. I'm not gonna be disrespectful. I still love y'all. I still fuck with y'all heavily, but I have to tell my side of the story. It wouldn't be right. Me and my child's mom have a great relationship now, and I want to keep it that way. So I'm not going to be disrespectful. I'm not going to be calling out her name, making her the bad person in the story. But like I said, when I tell you my version, when I tell you my truth, it is what it is. All right, with that being said, let me start. Okay, let's go back to 2014. Columbia, South Carolina, Fort Jackson. At the time, we were engaged or whatever through basic training while she was in basic training. And we were talking about getting married, as young couples do, young dumb couples do. So it's graduation. I drive up to Columbia, go see her. Had a graduation ceremony. Everything's cool. Everything's fine. All smiles. So let me backtrack. I skipped the part. the day before. If you ever been to a basic training graduation, they try to make it seem like it's hard to sneak soldiers off post, but you can do it. My parents snuck me off post when they weren't supposed to. So in typical fashion, I did the same thing with my fiance. Snuck off, went to the courthouse, signed the marriage certificate. Now we's married now. The only thing we missing is the ceremony. So graduation day, the day after that, surprise her with a best friend, doing all that type of stuff. Like I said, it was flowers, kisses, hugs, cries, all that type of stuff. It was a good day. It was a very beautiful day. So after the graduation ceremony, we go get married. Wasn't no white dress, wasn't no bridesmaids, wasn't no grooms. It was straight in uniform. Say I do, sign this paperwork, y'all married, job done. That was 2014. So we're married now. Like I said, we're a young couple, we're married. We're starting our life together. Things are going good for a good year, two years. We were living in Georgia. I was still working in Alabama, so I would travel back and forth from Alabama to Georgia during the week. On Georgia on the weekends, Alabama during the week. Things were fine. Things were great. All until she got the call to come up here to Maryland, where we at now. It was June of 2017. I'll never forget that day. I was at AT, because I'm in the National Guard, if y'all didn't know. So I'm at AT, and I'm talking to her about this decision about going to Maryland and how this might affect us in the future, because that's a 15-hour drive from your support system, your mom, your parent, like my mom, my dad. My whole support system is down here in the South. We don't know anybody in Maryland. It's just gonna be us and Kamai. And so I'm telling her that, like, hey, things might not be as peachy clean as you think it's gonna be. We made this move, but she was hell bent on the move. She was ready to leave her unit in Fort Gordon, and so I did what any supportive husband would do. I resigned from my job. I was a full-time tech, basically full-time guard in Alabama, and so I resigned from my job. I didn't leave right then. It took me a couple of months to leave, and we left in January of 18. Because I'm not finna be away from my child, first of all. And second of all, we're married. If you go somewhere, I'm going to go there. We're not gonna be apart like that, if I can help it. So, January 18, we left on Martin Luther King Day. That was probably one of the most saddest days of my life, because like I've said in previous videos, when you've been living somewhere for a long time and you just up and leave, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a culture shock. But I did it. Came up to Maryland, everything was cool. So here's why I get truthful with y'all. So I told you I resigned, right? I resigned from my job. I'm now a stay-at-home dad. I don't know if y'all ever experienced what it is to do that as a man, but I can tell you from personal experience, it's one of the greatest jobs I've ever had as a man, like the most humbling experience in this world. I won't say I loved every moment of it, but I love the connection that I got to have with my daughter. And that's probably why we're so close right now, because that time that I spent at home in the house every day, me and her just became the bond, and so we became like this. But at the other end of that, as a man, it's some demoralizing shit to not be able to take care of the heavy lifting or the heavy bills because as a man, you don't really feel right letting your woman do that. But it was a decision that me and her both made, because in Maryland, the daycare is like $275 a week. So I basically would have been working just to pay a daycare bill. So it didn't make sense financially to do that. So I was like, okay, I'll be a stay-at-home dad. That's what I do, and I'm still doing my business on the side. And so I did that. But in the back of my head, I really felt like I wasn't a man. Because like I said, you don't want to see your woman struggling to do shit and you can't do anything. No man wants to do that. So I'm living with that in the back of my head. But things are still going fine. And just a little bit, tad bit of information for y'all. If you ever get put in that situation, try your best to get out of that situation as quick as possible. I know it might be hard, because in my situation, it was kind of hard. Like I said, you have a young child, so you have to be there for her. You can't send her to a school. No, you have to be there every day. So I became that educator for my child. Like, I taught her how to read. I taught her how to spell her name. I woke her up in the morning, put her to sleep at night, gave her showers, gave her baths. Everything that the woman would normally do in that position, I was doing that, and it was a complete gender swap, and the shit was not natural. I'll tell you that. I loved it, but it wasn't natural, and I wouldn't suggest that men do that unless you're in a position where you had to, and in my case, I had to. So moving on, stay-at-home dad, like a good year. That year went fine. So things started to take a turn for the worse, and probably 2019, well, it was before 2019, but you start noticing shit when it's too late. So wife had a couple of complications she had to deal with. I won't go into detail about that, but I went from husband to stay-at-home dad to a caretaker. But I didn't have a problem doing that because I made the vows. I'm in it for life. And I take marriage seriously, even though some of my posts might not lead you to believe that, but I really do. Like, if you're gonna do that, then be all in it. So when I did it, I was all in. So went from caretaker, slept on the hospital beds. Y'all know how cold them beds can be. Those floors can be. I slept on hospital floors. I take that back. Made pallet, slept in the emergency rooms. Anything you can name, I did it. Going to appointments, like all that shit, I did it all. But like I said, I didn't mind because this is what I signed up for. This is my wife. Like, through sickness, like I'm saying, like, men, we really take our vows serious, like through sickness and health. Okay, you sick, I'm still about to be there because this is what I signed up to do. That's what I'm supposed to do. So dealing with all that, and like I said, I got the, okay, you a stay-at-home dad, you ain't really carrying your load like that. Plus taking care of mine. So all this shit is in the back of my head. So if you know anything about people having surgeries, their sleep can be off. And it come to a point to where you can't be in the room with them because of the sleep being so bad. Because their body's trying to adjust to the new changes and shit, and you really can't be in the room sleeping like that because they might need the whole bed. So I was like, cool, I'll go sleep in the other room. Did that for like a month, 2 months. Next thing you know, it's 3 or 4 months to pass. And we're basically roommates now. We get up, we function as parents for Kamai, but at nighttime, you go to your room, I go to mine. And like I said, I didn't mind doing that because of medical, but it became to a point to where I was like, this isn't medical anymore. And if you ever live with somebody, you know when there's tension, when there's smoke, but you don't say anything. You know what it is, but you don't know. And you got 2 choices in that moment. You can either not say shit about it, or you can confront the problem. So I went months without saying anything. So I just finally confronted the problem. I was like, hey, what's going on? This, that, and the third. And the answer I got led me on this path that I am now. And like I said, I won't go into too many details about what happened, but I was put in very compromising situations that I thought as a man I would never be in. When you trying to make your family work, you find yourself doing shit that you never thought that you'd do. And I just leave it at that. I did things and I accepted things that as a man now I would never accept that shit, because I was trying to make it work for our family. But long story less long, went through a lot of heartbreak, a lot of pain. I was mad for a long time, angry. I've made so many videos that y'all have never seen. I just get on camera and I just start talking to myself about my feelings. As men, it's important to talk to somebody, even if it's to yourself. Just talk to the phone, get that shit out. That helped me along the way, and that also helped me transform my body, because like I've said in previous videos, when you get lazy, you get the mare's belly, and you just stop doing things that you used to do. So that also encouraged me to get my ass in the gym, to get on my purpose and just start working out. Like I said, y'all see the workout videos, y'all see how I look now versus how I looked back then. That was depressed weight. I'm not depressed no more. I'm getting that shit off me. But like I said, it was a bunch of things that happened, and I want, like I said, for the other party, and I want to keep a good relationship with my child's mother. It was a bunch of shit that we both went through, and I'm not saying that I'm perfect, because I did petty shit too. I did shit that you're not supposed to do. But when you met, it's a funny thing when you're in love with somebody because you want to make it work, but you're also mad at the same time. So you're doing shit to hurt them, but in actuality, what you want them to do is come back and be like, the real question you want to know is, why don't you love me the way I love you? Basically, that was my whole ordeal. Why don't you love me the way I love you? That's what I was going through. So going through all those situations turned me into the person I am today. And even though I lost my family on one end, I gained myself at the other end. Because if I would have stayed in that situation, if we both would have stayed in that situation, it wouldn't have been right. I'd rather Kamai see me be a stand-up man and moving and shaking in this world outside of the household versus choosing to stay inside the household where I'm acting like a bitch. Because basically that's what I was doing. I was laying down, I was taking shit, trying to make it work, being a beta bitch. That's what I was doing. But like I said, that'll never happen again now. So with For the Bruhs podcast, these are the things that we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about health, fitness, fashion, and relationship. And I'm going to be giving you the game from a married man's point of view. Of course, I'm not, that's no longer the case now, but I have 6 years of information that I can give to other people to make sure they don't make those same mistakes. And if you are making those mistakes, here's what you can do so you don't end up like I did. You don't end up like me. And who knows, maybe this was going to happen regardless. I don't know. But like I said, I wish her the best. Like, we're still in communication with each other. We're not, because we got a child. But it's not going to be some fuck my ex type shit. That's not what I'm going to be speaking on. I'm going to tell you how you can improve and things you can work through to help yourself as a bruh in this world. And especially as a black bruh. But anyway, that's my video for this evening. Make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel in the comments below, in the description, and I'll catch y'all next time. Your ass up.